All right, everyone, welcome back. Today in this gameplay video, I'm joined by Andrew Klinger of Dimension Magic Games. Andrew Klinger is a great friend of mine, and I'm just super stoked he's here to help us preview one of the other decks coming out in Fearsome Rivals. So we've got Bulla with me and him on Lucifer. Klinger, say hi.
Hello, everybody. How's it going? Yeah, like you said, I'm Andrew Klinger, and I suppose we are pretty good friends. That we're kind of neighbors, Minnesota South Dakota connection.
Yeah,
Yeah,
two states that a lot of people don't know about if they live on either coast. Something I learned.
the third coast.
Well, I just quick story. When I was living in Savannah, Georgia, people when I said I lived in Iowa, they kept saying Idaho, and I just stopped caring.
Corn, not potatoes. Come
Yeah,
on.
exactly. So anyway, um, that's off topic. So we got again two decks from Fearsome Rivals. I'm playing White Bulla, which is a deck I've had fun with. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's the strongest deck in the world. I'm going to tell you that it's a fun deck. You touch your cards a lot, and if you like combo shenanigans, it is a ton of fun in that way as well. And then Lucifer is the only green deck from this set. And if any of you guys know Klinger from some of his own videos and just his resume as a player, he's a big green player, and so of course he gave this deck a shot. So before we get started, just quick thoughts in terms of how you've liked Lucifer so far in your first however many games.
Yeah, so it's probably been about 10 games at this point. I've already, we had like a little bit of a money tournament over the weekend and ended up getting the win on that over 4 rounds too. So, I mean, overall, yeah, it's been pretty great start. I'm not going to come out and say that it's the best deck ever made. It's green, so that's impossible anyway. But I will say there's a reason to play it, and
Mm-hmm.
you'll see why in this game, I suppose. But kind of revolves around the Z extra. I mean, just burning your opponent's life, non-interactable, is
Mm-hmm.
very strong.
Yeah, and it's
Later
not
in the
a
game.
it's not a sand green deck either, which knocks it down a peg as well,
For sure.
because you know why have like colors, whether it's a sand red deck, sand, green deck, they've like made it so it's just way harder for non-sand decks to obviously to be good to decent or whatever, because there's too many cards that they want that trait. But I guess the whole show and IP is about sand, so I get it. But it does kill a lot of decks if they don't have the sand tag. But from what we've seen and from what we've experienced, this Lucifer deck is kind of okay in terms of the toolkit that they gave it and stuff like that. So you guys are going to see that here. I'm going to go ahead and hit play, probably run it at 1.25 because there's some chit chat in between us and we just want to, again, make it convenient to watch. So, Clint, go ahead. You're first.
Yeah. All right. So in my opening hand, I mulligan ended up with what I got, and you'll see I charged maybe is that a dormant, and then I get rid of Solidarity
Mm-hmm.
or Lucifer 9 drop, I think, are my two Z charges to start the game.
Yep.
So obviously some powerhouses, but it was kind of a rough opening hand. You really want to see the unison, put that in your drop. Otherwise, there's no other
Yep.
way to discard it besides via dormant. So yeah, you really want to see that unison, and then a bongo would be second best for sure.
Yeah. So easy turn for you. For me, I go ahead and charge this Brainwash Trunks, and it's actually something throughout this game I kept seeing the card going. Like, this is a good card because it helps white with removal, right? If you just flip it or flip it either direction, hide it or reveal it, you pop something. Well, a lot of my cards, I was kind of realizing that there's not much that flips like generically a battle card, like to hit. And there's a lot of stuff that reveals stuff. But it's the SR Goku from last set that I would specifically have to see to play this Trunks and then play the Goku to get that KO. And it's a double KO with those two cards. But um, if if I don't see exactly that, this Trunks doesn't do anything. So I'm like right away, I'm like, okay, I'll charge it because I need to see other better cards that do what my deck wants to do. So play the Bulma, cantrip, draw, do the search on the leader, and pass. And then over to you.
Yeah, for sure. So once again, just the Z charge. Turn one, turn two, going to be the same every time. Z extra, turn one. Uninteractable Z charging is really strong. And
Mm-hmm.
then usually the Pansy Z unison on turn two. You can go Bardock if you're feeling spicy
Mm-hmm.
and don't feel like discarding a card to play your unison. But it's way more fragile for sure. If you're at 4 life already, I'd say, yeah, go Bardock. Why not? I've done that before, maybe once, but Yeah, so we'll play the Pansy here. It's got a cool permanent that makes it sticky. Once per turn, you can take a card from underneath it instead of losing a marker and add it to your hand when it's attacked. But to play it, you have to discard a card, and he didn't attack me, so I'm going down to 3 cards in hand, I believe, something like that. So it's very rough opening here. And then you just have 5 for a Saiyan and put it underneath. Also on my turn 2 Z charge, I did not see a Saiyan on the top, so already down a card in hand. Awkward Z charging. This is a rough start. No unison in the drop. Probably one of the worst starts I've had in a minute for this deck here. But yeah, Awaken, just draw 2. You do want to go to combat here, uptick the unison. Knowing that he's going to Awaken still, and I believe your leader goes down to 6 like the rest, right? I should probably just swing the Pansy and uptick, and then I don't do damage and kind of put him in the same situation I'm in. That's a move I need to go through more going forward for sure.
Yeah, Bulla just awakens naturally at 6. It's not even a pick down because it's, you can take your own life. So like no matter what, you can pretty much control your awakening at any point. So it's super consistent, which is great. But again, it doesn't have like the best awakening because it's just a restand 1. So there's no draw, and then you take 2 Vegeta GTs, the 1 cost from your deck, put it into your drop, so you can kind of start doing your recycling of those with her awakened effect. Now, this is where the game like immediately starts getting even wonkier. And as Klinger was saying, he didn't open really well on his first 2 turns. So like he's feeling bad because he whiffed on the bongo, or he whiffs. Maybe it's the next turn, but he'll end up whiffing. The Z chart. Okay, so yeah, so he had a whiff, and then this is my turn 2, and I go, okay, leader effect. So I need any Vegeta GT, and I go, sick man, not a single Vegeta GT. So I whiff. So we match whiff for whiff, and never feels good, of course, in these decks that just like need to grasp at all the value that they can early on to start hanging essentially with their other decks. So I play a Vegeta cantrip, draw 1 because I'm like, I need to see more cards. I had nothing else to do, unfortunately. So we flip. I had so many Vegeta 1 costs in my hand. I run 3 and 3, so I had 2 of each in my hand already. And I said, well, if there's 2 in my life, then I literally don't get to do this. So there was 1 in my deck, and we just have to take that for what it is. I add it to my hand, which isn't what happens. I do put it back in the drop here in a second. There we go. And then I'm just like, well, what is there to do here? So in my head, I think I'm safe, and I need to be smarter than this. So what you're going to see is I'm going to evolve this Vegeta into the offensive 5-cost Vegeta, which is he's buffed to 30k, and then when I swing, I can get a free combo from the drop. The other one is what I should have played, which they're both in my hand, and it's the 5-cost that blocker gains barrier, and then I can pop something if I switch my energy to hidden mode. So here I am slamming down this 5 because I'm like, I want a Z charge, and I want to just have this easy swing that goes through because I'm probably sure he's not going to negate it. Well, I'm forgetting that King Piccolo negate is a card, and he already has it online because of how fast he was able to get cards in his drop, right, which he just needs 3 non-Saiyans. Okay, so he windmills this KP down, and I feel terrible because I cannot believe I didn't check that this was possible, because I knew in my head it was the only thing that was going to make this feel bad, and so he did it. So he pops the 5 before I even have a chance to swing with it. I get no free combo, and then I literally sit there and I go, sick man, cool, pass, and he starts his turn 3 going first with a 20k crit on board, and then he's at 3 energy, which means he can play more better cards, and so here we are.
Yeah, that's a very strong card that supports the archetype. The King Piccolo also, when you can only spirit boost down to 1 on your opponent's unison, so him just being able to take that last one off the unison, that way you don't have to attack into it, is also just very, very, very strong for the deck. But yeah, 20k crit swing, pretty good.
Yeah, and in this moment, I'm sitting there going, before he has to spend any energy, he's got, what feels like this free 20k crit, right? Because on his turn, he played it on my turn, right? So it's just such good value against me, who's already whiffing, and I'm sitting there going, damn, dude, like, I either give him a bunch of cards because I'm a 10k leader, right? And I don't want to do that, but I also need to start getting Vegetas and stuff like that, or at least start seeing more cards because I hated my hand composition. So I combo a 0K combo Vegeta just to get the other one on board, draw, and I take the crit because, yes, I need to keep cards in my hand.
And so I'm thinking here. I feel like as longer the game goes, the stronger green always gets. So I'm not quite sure whether to attack you or to just kind of control your board. I'm a little ignorant to what some of the cards do as well. Here, I think I'm debating just swinging into the card I'm going to KO and end the combat there. But I end up just opting for the board removal here. I mean, and also getting my Spirit Boost draw for the turn. Um, yeah, so draw 2 cards, kill something. Groomies is definitely a must because Lucifer is not online until 7 markers on the Z Extra, and so he's your only removal for the most part, unless you're swinging with the 5 cost or something like that. And I probably forget to uptick my Unison. When I think I do that maybe once this game. The hardest part of the deck is keeping track of your Unison once per turn plus tick, and the markers on the Z Extra for sure. And then I just play Cantrip with Bongo because I don't have very many markers on my Z Extra at all because I don't have a Unison on his side of the field, and I know I'm sitting on 1 or 2 Dormants if worst comes worse. So just play Cantrip and pass, which is not amazing, but here we are.
Yeah, he should be feeling good because he did clear my board, and like why that's important is because he didn't leave up any 1 cost Vegetas for me to evolve on instantly. That's kind of, I mean, one of the things I felt the worst in this game was because I went second, I'm behind per se, right? And he's green, which means that he's getting these removal effects online for his deck faster than like any of mine as well. And then because of the way his cards read, right, there's on attack pops and stuff like that, and I'm comboing right to get these 1 costs on board, but it's like I want these 1 costs to survive because I need to evolve on them and stuff like that. So being able to play them on his turn is great, but he's got everything he needs to pop them. So when my turn starts here, I have a fresh board and nothing to go off of. So I need to start removing stuff. I play this baby, which is able to KO stuff when I combo via its auto. And I start with my Bulla. Well, I play the Vegeta, and then I attack with Bulla, the lead, and then you negate it with the Nimbus to save your Gurumis for a turn, and that stops me from comboing on that attack, which means I do have to put my 20k barrier into rest mode to get an attack off to even be able to pop anything, right? So he saves his Gurumis, but I got to get rid of KP. So I do swing with the 20k, do leader, play the Vegeta. I'm thinking about it. I'm like, damn, this sucks because then I can't evolve on the 1 cost with any of the 5 costs in my hand, which then limits what I'm able to do in terms of a crackback to help stabilize. I was so on the back foot this whole time. Felt awful. And then, I mean, this is just me doing everything that I can and hoping for the best. But you'll see later on, my hand compilation doesn't get better. And I pass here with 2 up because he's going to 4. I know Solidarity's online. I know like the bigger, better green stuff is. And I go, well, I'm white and I have to not die. Even though I'm sitting at 5, I'm a 10k leader. Like, so I leave up 2, knowing that I have some negates in hand. And then we also remember, hey, I went second. Here's an energy marker to help with that defense because that would have been really bad. If
And
we
I
just,
remember
Yep.
Gurumis gets me a counter on my Z Extra, so
Yep.
I grab a dice for that after the fact.
Yeah, dude. It's probably why I wouldn't play Lucifer is because I have to keep track of that stuff, and I'm way too prone for that. The little tiny details, it's not my thing.
Yeah, I'm still working out the kinks for sure. Just the other day I learned that Bongo is only on defense for the free 5k from the drop, so small things here and there, working out the kinks for sure. Reading the cards more than one time.
I don't know what I'm thinking here because I think I'm just so in awe of what I'm unable to do, and I want to save this Vegeta. Okay, this. Okay, so in the moment I'm like, yeah, this is great. I get to save my removal piece, because I put it in rest mode to attack. I can hide it here, and then like I'm thinking at a later turn I will use an effect and I'll flip it. Spoiler alert: this Vegeta never flips back to revealed mode. I never used the removal again. Um,
Big sad.
there was almost like this. So the Z extra, I believe, is something that I could have used to reveal this baby Vegeta. The problem is when he starts killing me here on this next turn, and I use this defensively to survive an attack. I didn't flip the Vegeta because then it would have one given him a place to attack. Like he just would have got rid of it anyway. Or I think he hadn't played Solidarity yet as well, and so I'm going, okay, well if I like get out of this one attack that's not Solidarity and reveal this baby Vegeta, you'll slam Solidarity and you'll pop it anyway. So I'm like, nothing felt good, and I mean, but that's kind of what Green wants to make their opponent feel anyway.
Yeah, and I feel like a little bit of a misplay. I'm getting a little greedy with the Groomies. Like if you negate that swing and hide the Gurumis, I lose the spear boost, which is I'm gonna do it later in the turn anyway, so it doesn't matter. But I'm trying to like greed for that KO, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly a missed out opportunity there for some damage, but see, you didn't have that Revenge Death Ball negate there, so or a Gohan or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So just proceed to hold the Gurumis in hopes that you play something that I can swing and kill.
Yep.
Still don't know how to pronounce if Gurumis is correct, but
I
hopefully.
think you're correct, honestly, on the Gurumis, and I'll tell you right now.
It's funny.
I think I've been back and forth with that white Gohan negate, and I really do like it because a negate that potentially stops two attacks in a color that does not have good defense is huge. I think I either didn't put them back from like because I've been switching white cards back and forth from baby, and but I also like repolished this deck, to get ready for this video, and I didn't put the Gohans in because I just felt in Bulla I felt confident in like being able to combo and get out of certain attacks, and I just felt, I don't know, confident in my ability to do that, and well, I can't
I don't
prepare
think you
for.
needed it with the new Death Ball card. I mean, Death Ball is just probably better overall. So I think it's a little redundant and maybe just
Sure, it's just like, do you want the 15k
yeah,
body on board, right? It's still
yeah,
5k combo
yeah.
power on board. It's still a 15k, for the on the back.
It's always been an
And
okay card. Yeah,
yeah, I think it's
never
like
been too
it's
amazing, but
it's only as good as it is because of how bad the defense is in white. So like in baby, it felt like it overperformed. The free negate that I could use, and that was the one thing I had, the Battle of the Gods negate, which is you can use it for free if you tap a hidden mode card in your battle area. Well, I never had a hidden mode card like inactive mode apparently this game, and so I never got to do that. Um, but yeah, man, Klinger brought up the Revenge Death Ball. There are multiple times you'll see in this game where I don't play it, obviously, and I'm like, it feels really bad that I'm not seeing this card because normally I don't think that card feels good because it's easy to play around. But the way that Klinger was like building his board, turn after turn, and I was like unable to remove it turn after turn, it would have been so crazy. Like, he plays Tau, and then he swings the first time with Tau, and if I Revenge Death Ball, then I at least get rid of the Tau second attack, or I get rid of the Gurumis, at least for the turn. But it never happened because I put it down to 2 copies in the deck because I don't think it's that great of a card. But then you play a game where it's like, wow, that was the most important card that I needed to see, and of course, you just don't see it.
yeah, there's a lot of lack of defense for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Tao Pai Pai, you got to say the whole name, man.
Yep, bye-bye.
He's a turn he's played. He's a 25k duel. He beat your leader as well, but I already swung with leader, so that didn't matter. Yeah, solid card. I'm down to 3 of him right now. Just doesn't have any removal, so I lower his priority for sure, as I think that we should put good pressure under no floodgates for sure. Ends up doing a damage, which is unexpected. Not comboing at all for sure. And then now I have 3 energy open. He's at 2 life. There's the Solidarity he wanted me to play, so I obliged.
Yep. I mean, the whole time I'm like, I'm not negating any of his attacks because white against green is every energy you have open is a negate for Solidarity. It's essentially what it is. That or SS4 Gogeta Sin. It's those huge green good cards that every deck's gonna play. So you simply have to always keep energy up for those. So in that sense, Tau Pai Pai is so good because it's not just a 25k swing; it's two 25k swings, and I'm not going to use two negates on two singular 25s. I'm going to keep holding it
Yeah,
up for
you gotta put
solidarity.
that
Yep.
up. You gotta do the white things where it's like I don't know if you can play the fox in here or not too, but I think that's kind of where Belmont's strength is too
Yep.
when it comes to white pools. Is it gets to actually play some good defense. White without beating your leader very often, it can be very rough. I think
Yep.
like Iraq is a very very strong card in white.
Yeah. Yeah, and so we're getting to the late game here. He is still at 5, and I'm at 2 because I keep taking these hits. And if you haven't noticed, I haven't used a single
That's
super
dormant.
combo this game. And in a combo based deck where I do want to get to the battle step but also not take damage, you kind of need super combos eventually because he's going to start swinging with bigger and bigger things. Dude, it wasn't happening in this game. I kept taking from 4 to 3 to 2 because like I just again no supers. I was never negating any of his smaller swings. So when he threw a little zhuzh on him, that hurts a lot. So when he's swinging 25, I have to go 4 cards out of my hand if I don't have supers.
Yeah, that's rough for sure.
Right, like that's how
And your Vegetas are 0Ks, right?
the
Like
one
the
cost
fives.
Vegetas, yes, the one cost Vegetas are 0k combo power.
Okay, okay. At least the fives and fours or
Yeah,
five, whatever.
there's a counterplay Bulla that's a blocker, and then it says, counterplay play this card. For the turn, you can use your rest mode Vegeta GTs in combos. And with the first time I ever played Bulla, I was doing that and then comboing off my one cost to get out of attacks. And then it wasn't until after my very first game that I looked at it and said, "Oh my god,
Zero,
those zero
zero.
K
No.
combos." Yeah, it like the deck felt very good, not too good, very good though.
Yeah.
If those had 5k combo power,
Right. Yeah. Then you could just at least be a 15k leader for the turn, essentially, because you're always going to replace the five for the five. I think that would be very fair.
it didn't feel overpowered by any means. But
No.
it surprised me, and I was like, oh, this defense or this deck's got some stuff. And then the second I saw that, yeah, dude, I was like, I don't know, man, anymore. Like this is kind of crazy. So here, coming back to my turn, I need to remove solidarity at least, and because again, I can't flip my baby Vegeta over. I don't have that removal. I play the 5 cost into the 8. The first 5 cost being the one that if or hide one of my energy, then I could pop a card. So I use that to pop Solidarity. Well, he's still got Gurumis and he's got Tau Pai Pai. But I need to play this Vegeta because I need to try and threaten him a little bit while also revealing my energy so I can stop hiding him. Well, he's got the free negate Bulma, which is very good again because dormant into this into this free negate, like literally free, doesn't cost anything. You just slam it down. Very good.
Yeah. Spirit boost.
Yep.
So I draw off of it. So freeze can be. Yep. Um, yeah. So there goes the double strike swing for sure. And
Yeah.
I think that I haven't been able to play Unison at all. I just did pitch it for Dormant. The great Sandman tech for this, just that way you can continuously spirit boost off the Pansy without it being a detriment. Great showcase for that, where you actually run into a pickle for sure. I get two of them under there this game. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I end up hiding the SS4 with the one cross by putting it in the drop because I do want it to survive, right? If I somehow survive here, I've got more on board to start doing stuff. I have 3 up, right? I have 2 regular energy and I have a marker. He's charging to 5 energy in green, and his board starts with a 20 duel and a 15 on board. And this is not a good place because, like I've already been saying, I am not negating these. I can't. He's got more solidarities. He's maybe got Gogeta Sin. I know what secret rare he's playing. Cell Max, Quad Strike. So like there's just the singles have to get through. The small stuff. I think my microphone just went out there. The small stuff has to get through because I have to combo out of it and save it for the bigger stuff. Save the negates. So I've got like 3 Battle of the Gods negates here, and I'm just waiting. And so he goes 15, combos to 20, and then Paragus on top of 30. And I'm going, like, I didn't negate it because I just simply couldn't. No super combos. So I look at my hand and go, dude, I mean, I'm going to give you what, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. This is 5 cards out of hand.
Yeah, 30 is the new 25, or
Right.
the new 35. I mean, yeah,
Yes.
being a 10K leader,
Mm-hmm.
that's
So I combo to see a new card because I'm sitting here begging to see Revenge Death Ball. That's all I'm asking because it stops at least, it could potentially stop 2 attacks because I got 2 hidden mode cards. But at this point, it would be negate Tao Pai Pai, and then you'd flip them so you stop the dual attack. Like that's all I'm asking for. And then I'd have the active hidden to play a negate for free if Solidarity. I have another energy open for something else. I have the marker for something else. So I'm like feeling kind of okay. But then I take down to 1 because I can't give you 5 cards. And then you remind me about your tech that I forgot about in this very specific moment. And you say, hey, I'm just going to burn you to death. And I go, yeah, man, just
is it okay
yeah,
if I just
just
do
do
this?
it. Like, it's what you're supposed to do. It's what how you've been so successful with the deck. And so it's sell max, play Piccolo, which allows you to pop something. It doesn't matter what it is in this situation, and he just burns me for the last life. So
Yeah,
that is the game. I wish this went better. I wish we could have taken, some of these like whiffs and stuff back, but like that's not real gameplay. And I think this was important, one, to show you how good Lucifer is and how good it can be. And I think we did that. You obviously won the game. But at the same time, like Bulla has some drawbacks. It has some shortcomings. It's white. The defense is bad, and I literally didn't see one of the biggest defensive cards, and I saw no super combos.
yeah,
And with his constant removal, it kept me on the back foot the whole time. And I was waiting for these like stabilizing cards that simply never came. Um, and I lost, and it felt pretty bad losing. But that's just what I don't know, man. That's what can happen. So, any last thoughts on this game besides the fact that it was just less than ideal?
yeah. I was curious. I think maybe there might have been a better chance earlier too if you just doesn't the leader like warp a Vegeta and you play it again. Um, so you could have killed like you continuously killed 2 cards with the barrier Vegeta then, right? Every turn, hit your once per turn on
No,
him.
you know what? You're actually correct. So I'll say that to the audience real quick. Middle of the game, I didn't realize that the baby Vegetas are both characters. It's not baby Vegeta as the character. It is baby slash Vegeta GT. And so learning that mid game means that like I wasn't aware of other play lines that probably could have helped me in this. So like in this situation, looking back watching the game, I could have activate battled or activate main to warp the baby Vegeta and then bring it back and then have it flipped to use the effect to start popping stuff. Now, does that change what happened? Probably not. It probably means he just didn't have Tao Pai Pai here on this turn or maybe the turn before. But he probably ends up playing maybe another one. Or he still plays Solidarity, he still plays Cell Max and burns me. Like, he gets to 7 on the marker, right? Like, there was ways for you to probably still get me low and then burn me to death like you just did.
Gotcha. Yeah. The barrier blocker is, or he has blocker, correct?
No, he's just so there's the
Oh,
5 cost
barrier.
blocker that gains barrier, but like yeah, the baby Vegeta is not a blocker at all. It's just a barrier.
Yeah, but yeah, with removal, very
Hmm.
solid card for sure. I think that that would be a staple play every turn. And yeah, obviously the walking in the King Piccolo negate is really rough. And yeah, I think Bola, I will be excited to play it against it again, and hopefully I get to see like the 3 double strike swings, at my face, something like that. Some good pressure. But Lucifer's a lot of negates, and
Yeah,
because he needs
unfortunately,
he need no
yeah.
uneasings.
Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't get to see Bull's high roll. But sometimes games just simply go like that. Obviously,
Yeah,
I had a pretty big throwing turn at the beginning and did my absolute best. But another thing I was telling Klinger is like I talked about my hand compilation this game. At one point, I had 5 cards in my hand and 2 copies of each one, and an 11 card hand basically. And they were just like Vegetas and Evolve Vegetas, and then the Goku SR and Battle of the Gods negate. So like they were good cards, but they were never like efficiently played based on the situation because I needed other things to help survive, to help stabilize, and he kept popping the Vegeta 1 costs. I could never evolve feeling good because I'd have to like pay an energy to somehow get another Vegeta out, or I had to swing with a card I didn't want to swing with because I needed to hit the battle step, and then if you negated it, it felt bad and stuff like that. So this was highly unfortunate, but I really wanted to get gameplay on the channel with these two decks, and who else to do it with in terms of Lucifer than the guy who seemingly has been really good with the deck in such a short time. So that is it, guys. We really appreciate you guys stopping in. Obviously, please like and subscribe, and just continue supporting the channel. It's been a ton of fun. Everything everyone has to say about the content has been great. Everyone's been so kind, and I appreciate that greatly. But again, Klinger joined me here, Dimension Magic Games. Any shout outs you want to give real quick before we end this one?
Shout out to
the team,
the Peterson brothers. Nah, dude, the team, they're all right. No, they're a good group of guys for sure. And I will say, I mean, they always kind of believe in my interesting green takes where I'm like, the deck's not bad, you know? No, and yeah, I don't know. Shout out to my wife always, because it's a lot to be married to a card player, and I appreciate her.
Yeah, you know what? Shout out my wife as well. Shout out my wife.
Yeah.
Shout out all wives of card players, because I can also attest to the whole "it's a lot" situation. Being married to a card player. All right, we're babbling on. Appreciate you guys. Like and subscribe. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next one.